guess we'll just get started. Thank you for joining me for the Indigenous Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today I have San Juan College Harvest Food Hub with us, and they will be talking about their programming and some of their resources available to entrepreneurs and Native American entrepreneurs in the Northwest region of the state. So if I could have you, Sam and Jacqueline, introduce yourselves and we'll get started.
Well, thank you, Cecilia. We're happy to be here. I'm Sam Allen. I'm the project manager of the Harvest Food Hub. So I'm glad to be here. I'm kind of relatively new on board and learning a lot. So it's great to be involved in this very dynamic program. And I'll let my coworker introduce herself as well.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Montoya. I'm the San Juan College Harvest Food Hub kitchen manager. I do the oversight for most of the operations here. And then I'm just helping Sam get on board to the team.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for joining. Like I said, just a little bit of background about our program is we are UNM Rainforest Innovations. We have the Tribal Entrepreneurship Enhancement Program, and one of our goals is to really help raise awareness and connect in with resources and support available for not just Native American entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs in general throughout the state. And I know San Juan Food Hub has been a great resource. So I'm just wondering if you guys can go in a little bit about what is your organization, what do you do, what is San Juan College, and what is the Food Hub? Just who are you guys?
That's a great question. So we are a component with San Juan College. So the Harvest Food Hub works with many community organizations that help build economic sustainability in the agriculture community, as well as support entrepreneurs in many aspects across the food business, from farming to value added. We also help support local restaurants, schools, institutions, daycare centers, senior centers. We partner with a local chef who helps provide community learning with different fun classes, and it helps, build workforce as well. Trained workforce, I should say. And then I like to describe the Food Hub myself with 3 different components, right? We're an aggregator, distributor, and entrepreneur mentor. So we help businesses grow their business or start their business. And once they've established that, then we also give them a platform to sell their products. So we do that with our online and in-store sales, our farm box program, and then direct sales to institution and wholesale buyers. So because we have that direct opportunity to sell their product, it gives more feasibility for local businesses to have that end product go to the community and as well as across the state. We partner with other food hubs in Albuquerque and Southwest Colorado to sell products from our area. And we're working on building sustainability with our new project, our commercial kitchen. Hopefully we'll have that open in right about a year from now, so that those companies who don't have the capacity to grow right now with restrictions on manufacturing and producing, that space will give them the opportunity to do that. And as well as grow other businesses and promote small businesses and self-sustainability with that. And I'll go ahead and let Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very dynamic and growing program. And we're, I think, at around 35 local producers that we've worked with, and we hope to continue to work with more. Some would be just producers with, say, just half an acre. And then, of course, we also work with the Navajo agricultural products industry, NAPI, who have, I think, over 100,000 acres of land. And they're one of the largest farms in the country and probably the largest indigenously owned farm in the world. So we also sell their products, and we're glad to be working with them too.
Awesome. Well, How did the food hub get started? Like, how long have you guys been doing what you're doing, and how did it come about?
I can speak to that some, and then I may let Jacqueline share some more. I think this has been kind of an organic need that's been observed just over the past 10 years. There's been a need for connecting farmers with the local market. And then 5 or 6 years ago, there was some local food task force initiative work that helped to generate some more concrete movement in establishing the food hub. And perhaps I'll let Jacqueline share some more. She's been here for some time and got to see some of that evolution.
Yeah, so I actually had the opportunity to start with the Harvest Food Hub in 2020 as a student employee from San Juan College. So we started aggregating and distributing out of a garage bay at the Quality Center for Business up at the San Juan College main campus. And from there, it really started as being able to sell local produce to the community. So also this was August of 2020. So it was right at the height of, COVID. So we had to pivot, which was how we were able to facilitate so many institution sales. So we had Farmington Municipal Schools, Bloomfield Schools, and Aztec Schools right out the gate helping with that procurement process. So within the state government, we have a lot of funding for schools and institutions to buy local products. So there's an avenue direct to our local farmers to be able to make money. So we were able to facilitate that the first year with the farm box and the online custom sales. So then the next year it grew into the storefront, which we have downtown Farmington on Animas Street. And from there, we were able to secure the funding for the construction in this building. So we partnered with the city of Farmington for the space to be able to have that in a great location. As well as, be centralized for a lot of those food entrepreneurs with the downtown activity. And so from there, it's grown into, here we are at the end of that first 5-year grant phase. And we've more than exceeded what our expectations were. We thought that we were going to be helping around 20 to 25 farmers, when over the 3-year period that I've worked here, we worked directly with at least 45 farmers. And we still have the support of so many of those original community members that helped get this started. We partner with NMSU, many departments within that, their Arrowhead Center, their extension agent. We partner with 3 or 4 groups out of Shiprock. So we work directly with a couple organizations who work in Dene College, as well as a couple of chapter house groups, and about 5 businesses directly that we've helped with build entrepreneurship, and then they've gone to build on their business, and now they're doing 501c3 work. So it's just continued to grow from there, starting out, as a great idea and a need for the community, and has really fulfilled that need and allowed more people to see the opportunity within that.
That's awesome. With the current closures of coal mines, do you see agriculture kind of becoming a new economic development opportunity and way to create more jobs in the Northwest region?
I definitely see it as an opportunity, and I definitely hope that people will see that as well. Unfortunately, the average age of a farmer right now is 60 years old. So we're really hoping to get, a younger crowd so that they can help continue that tradition and that opportunity for local food and local, economic agriculture growth.
Well, I think what you guys are doing is awesome, and I definitely see the need, and I hope you guys continue to grow. You said you've served about 45 individual farmers, or even more than that. I'm wondering what kind of programming and what services do you provide to them that then kind of maybe enable and empower them to be successful in their agricultural businesses and farms?
Absolutely. So we offer everything from food safety training, as well as understanding what the demand in the market is. You don't want a bunch of farmers growing either the same crop that's not selling, because then nobody makes any money there. It's just a lot of loss. So we've helped develop different programs that focus on what is, easily grown in those areas and what the demand for those items are. We've also helped work, something as simple as tech issues, showing them how to do, online applications, online trainings. We've helped with explaining anything from how to do an invoice to how to keep track of what they purchase and what their expenses are for the year. We've had a lot of farmers been able to go, from just an idea to a full-on production program, especially one of our farmers, Humble Fungi Mushrooms, started out very small in a very small room in their house, and they've grown to almost a warehouse with a huge room that they grow many different varieties of mushrooms from the two that they started from. And then we also have other programs where we would go and offer one-on-one training and walkthrough to help them get their farms up to a standard that they could sell to us or to institutions. We've also partnered with many programs like, again, the Biz Sprint, with Arrowhead, the Small Business Development Center here at the college, WEST, WESST program, to offer business plan understanding, business growth, and how they can accomplish that. We really do everything that we can to help our farmers and our entrepreneurs. Food value added products, we've offered trainings for their food safety, their manager serve safe certification, one-on-one mentorship so that they understand what the application process is to become a manufacturer for the product that they wish. It really goes on and on for what we have been able to do for the local farmers and food value added products producers, as well as food truck entrepreneurs. They've come in here looking for just advice on how they can improve their business. And of course, we teach them about how they need to do a market study, and they need to do, product testing and things like that. Ask the people you want, and how can that help? So it's really been a great opportunity for all of us to really know what the community wants to do and what they have the capacity to do.
That's awesome. You guys sound like you're really busy with all the stuff you've got going on, but that's awesome. What have you seen as one of the greatest needs that agricultural entrepreneurs have that come to you?
I think the biggest issue for any farmer or anybody in the agriculture business is capital. The area that we live in, unfortunately, is very high in poverty. So while everybody might have the ambition and the idea, sometimes it's hard to get the funding to make that type of thing happen. I do encourage any farmer to look into grants all the time. There's a state agency that helps ag entrepreneurs find grants specifically. So I would look into something like that, and then also talk to your neighboring farmers. Because they're going to know how they did it and how they were able to make it happen. But also don't be afraid to start small, because that's what's going to give you the opportunity. There's already places for you to sell your product in a small capacity, either through a grower's market or through different food hubs. But those are honestly the biggest issues that we have. And then you're dealing with the physical, which is the dry land. So I would suggest always, knowing the land that you want to farm on and know what it needs to make it happen. If you're going to have to haul in water, please be prepared to do things like that. But also talk to your neighbors, because they're probably dealing with the same thing. So how can you work together to make it easier, cheaper, and provide more product on both ends?
Yeah, I think it's important to create that. We talk a lot about like entrepreneurial ecosystems here with the work that I do. And I think that there's entrepreneurial ecosystems, and then it's also very in line with food ecosystems as well, and they kind of go hand in hand. If you have those localized food entrepreneurs and businesses, that are working together. You know, maybe one farmer supplies this, or a different entrepreneur has a certain type of service that then that farmer can use. I think that's one way that New Mexico as a whole, and then our smaller cities and rural communities, can start creating those like localized ecosystems that can then be sustainable. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that or anything you'd like to speak to in that regard.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the system that we're dealing with all around. That's a great point of view. I think that's what makes the partnerships and resources so amazing in this area, is because if we or our partners don't know how to help, you know, our neighbor, then one of us is always trying to figure out how we can make that happen, how we can build that partnership, so that what's not available could be. Sam, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Sure. Well, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here. In my previous work, I worked with New Mexico State University, and we had a lot of visitors from different countries who would come to our area to look at the agricultural work, the extension work, the technologies that people were using in the community, and the relationships, to see how they were working. Because we live in a dryland area, and we have different cultural groups kind of working together. So that's something that was of interest to a lot of people from different countries. We, as Jacqueline has been saying, we work with a lot of different local producers. We have a few native producers. I mentioned NAPI, Navajo Agricultural Products Industry. There's a couple other in the Shiprock area. We have RJ's Legacy, Tyler Farms, and Bitty Baby Foods, which is one that I think has been working with your center to be encouragers and spokesperson for potential entrepreneurs in our area. So we're glad to be working with them. So we look forward to kind of increasing that outreach.
So you have already kind of shared some of these during the conversation, but I'm wondering if there are any success stories in the past couple of years that you'd like to highlight of local farmers and producers that have really benefited from your programming and are now growing and thriving in their business pursuits.
Sure. Well, I'll share an example, and then I think probably Jacqueline will have some more from the previous years. One local producer family that we're working with is Casey Gardens. They're based out in the Fruitland area, just outside of Farmington, and they have a really nice, kind of very progressive hydroponic production area where they're growing these really beautiful types of greens that are grown in an aqueous, fertilizer solution, and the produce looks really beautiful, and they've been a joy to kind of work with and see their production expanding. So we're glad to be working with them, and it's good to get that type of really nice produce out to the local market. I'm sure Jacqueline will have some other sharing stories she'd like to share, so I'll let her speak with you.
Yeah, so I have a couple of great stories. One specifically is the Elders Greenhouse and Gardens. So they're really well known around the community, but they've always just kind of been at the farm stand and then with their greenhouse for starters and beautiful flowers. So over the 3 years that I've got to work with them, they've been able to grow their business 3 times over with the sales to the institutions locally. And then a couple last year with food hubs in Albuquerque. So that's been really exciting to see them have the opportunity to feel like they could grow their business and take that initiative to do it. Another farmer would be the Coons Hollow, which is out of Aztec, and they started last year really small at the growers markets. And then they learned the potential for the state funding to be able to sell to institutions, and they gave them initiative to kind of grow their business. And because of that specific relationship, they've, worked within their own community to promote us to help other entrepreneurs grow, which has gotten 2 more farms directly from them to sign on to the Harvest Food Hub's, vendor list. And there's honestly a lot of stories that we could talk about, because of this program and because of the support through San Juan College and City of Farmington. Then we've been able to increase the capacity for all farmers to grow their business. And with partners like Small Business Development Center and then Arrowhead Center with the BizFriend classes, it's given them the tools to know how to run their business successfully. While we can, offer that on a smaller basis just to be able to sell their product and give them a platform to do that.
Awesome. So as far as areas that you serve, I know you don't only serve Farmington. Can you kind of list some of the different regions and small rural populations that you serve throughout the Four Corners area?
Yes, so our project managers and training coordinators have made a lot of effort to serve smaller communities. So they've gone, and specifically because we're in the Four Corners area, the Navajo Nation Reservation is a huge area that is always underserved. So we've made a huge effort to go out to areas where there's a lot of people out there, but they don't have the time to come to Farmington or maybe the capacity. So we've had trainings and info sessions held at different chapter houses all across the New Mexico side of the reservation. And more specifically, we've, been through Gallup, and then we've also worked with schools in the Quemado School District, which is a little bit closer to Albuquerque, but we were definitely able to facilitate. And so we've also worked with, of course, the other food hubs across the state to help get the products that are in abundance here across there. And most of those come from the smaller communities, whether it be, just outside of Aztec to just, south and east of Shiprock. There's been multiple opportunities as well to do Zoom and video conferencing. And so the lack of tech and just capacity for things like that on the reservation, we've had project managers and partners go out there and set it up so that they can still get with the big groups in Albuquerque without having to deal with not having the electricity or capacity to a computer. So that's been pretty exciting to be able to help with those type of partnerships.
So going forward, what are some of the goals that you have for the Food Hub? I think you've definitely, over the past years that you guys have been running, have shown the need as well as the value that you provide to entrepreneurs, agricultural entrepreneurs, and economic development as a whole. So what are your goals and next steps looking forward for the Food Hub and then for that whole Northwest region of the state?
I think the biggest components will be, of course, entrepreneurship and education moving forward. As I think most people know that there's always need for job training and things like that. So with our kitchen being built, we hope to help focus a lot on that. And then we're also developing a learning garden space where we hope to help community and up and coming farmers with the technical issue of gardening and farming. And then, of course, we would be able to help those up and coming food producers space and education on how to form that foundation for their business and see what type of business they really want to go into. Those are things we definitely look forward to bringing to the future. I think that the community is most excited about the kitchen being built. So everybody's really looking forward to that, really looking forward to having the opportunity to produce their own products. And since we live in such a unique community, we're really looking forward to a lot of like traditional products being, produced in our space, and then will be sold to the community. So if they don't know about it now, in a year and a half, hopefully they know a lot more about what our community has to offer from our local food entrepreneurs.
And we would be happy to help promote it as well. So once all that's up and running, just keep us in the loop and we will help spread the word. On that note, how can people connect with you? You guys are a great local resource, a physical hub in Farmington, close to the Navajo Nation and to other rural communities. How can they tap into your resources and connect with you if they're interested in learning more and potentially starting their agricultural business?
Great question. So the best way to get a hold of us is we have our website at San Juan College Harvest Food Hub. And then we also have, our storefront at 310 West Animas. That's open 3 to 6:30 Wednesday through Friday, 11 to 3 on Saturday. And then don't hesitate to give either one of us a call. My direct line is 505-566-3964. And then Sam's direct line is 505-566-3119. And we'd be happy to give anybody any information, resources, and walk them through any process that they see needed.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm wondering if there's anything else you'd like to add, any last thoughts or things before we get off here. Any closing thoughts, I guess, is what I would ask for.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, we're happy to be kind of developing a good relationship with your center there, and we realize that we're all kind of on the same team promoting entrepreneurship in our state. So we're happy to continue to work with you. I know you also have a lot of great resources, videos, and training for your program. So yeah, so we're looking forward to ongoing work in our area. We know that there's a lot of need in our area, and I'm sure in your area as well. So we know that there'll be a continued emphasis on these types of programs. And so, yeah, we're excited to be here and to be working with you and with our partners and the community here. So we appreciate your interest. And again, as Jacqueline was saying, we'd be happy to visit with you, and any viewers who would be watching this or listening to it, we'd be happy to talk with you about opportunities through the Harvest Food Hub. So thank you for your interest.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate having you all on here. And like I said, I do think the work and the services that you're providing are essential and super valuable to entrepreneurs in your region, as well as Indigenous entrepreneurs. So thank you. And I'm excited to see how you continue to grow and support the community. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Yeah.